Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Gen Politics. The Biden administration is considering a plan that forces migrants who cross into the United States illegally to remain in Texas while they wait out their asylum screening. Administration officials cite the proposed plan as a way to curb the flow of illegal immigrants at the southern border. The plan would force migrants to remain in Texas or possibly other border states by tracking their location through GPS monitoring devices such as ankle bracelets. And this is all happening at a time where Governor Abbott of Texas is in an intense fight with the federal government, specifically the Biden administration, about what to do in regards to illegal immigration. And Biden's also getting attacked by several different Democratic governors for how he's handling the situation that's affecting their cities. So currently, Texas tried to put in floating barriers in the Rio Grande to stop people from crossing. And then a judge in Texas ordered that those must be removed by no later than September 15th. Governor Abbott has also been busing migrants to sanctuary cities like Chicago, Philadelphia, New York, Los Angeles. And quote, Texas has bused over 35,000 migrants to self-declared sanctuary cities, over 11,300 to DC, over 13,300 to New York, over 6,700 to Chicago, and over 2,600 to Philadelphia, over 1,000 to Denver, and over 480 to LA. And these cities have become totally overwhelmed by this crisis. They don't have the resources to feed these people. They don't have the resources to shelter these people. They're causing problems in all of these cities, and the governors don't know what to do about it. And so they're asking Biden to stop allowing the immigration to control the border crisis. And that's how Texas feels. Texas wants the border crisis to end. Here's a spokesperson from the Department of Homeland Security that said the Biden administration, quote, is committed to expanding safe and orderly pathways for migrants to lawfully enter the United States while imposing consequences to those who fail to use those pathways. But this is just ridiculous. Nothing about this is legal. These people are just walking across the border. Millions are just walking across the border with no consequence. And do they really think putting a GPS tracker on them is going to stop them? You put a tracker on them, and they just take it off. They'll disappear. And it's not like anybody's out looking for them either. And they're trying to put a Band-Aid on it instead of solving the root problem, which is stop all immigration at the border. All of it. Use the U.S. military, send them into the border, lock it down, no one gets in. That's the solution. And Texas is, I think, pretty close to doing that with their own National Guard, because they've had enough of Biden just letting millions and millions of people in. And now he's going to force them all to stay in Texas instead of, going to the Democratic cities and hurting his friends and his base. He wants to force them all to stay in Texas, a place Biden already doesn't care about, and actively wants to turn blue. So this has become a whole complete mess, to the point where even the most liberal governors are saying that Biden needs to end immigration at the border, that this has to stop, and it's only going to get worse. I don't blame the Texas governor for busing people to these cities. It's kind of have a taste of your own medicine. And in fact, it's not even just that. They declared themselves sanctuary cities years ago, saying, we want people to come here. We want you. We want to accept you. We'll take care of you. And now suddenly they're thrown off and taken aback when the governors of other states, the border states, actually send people to them. Somehow they're offended by that. You get what you ask for. Be careful what you wish for. But this is turning into a state versus the federal government issue and a state versus state issue. And it's getting to be rather serious. And I think this marks a pathway for the future of politics in this country. This is how the country may actually break down, is we just break down into state lines and say, we're not going to listen to what the federal government has to say. You have no recourse to stop us except for force, and we'll use equal force to stop you. Texas may just lock down their part of the border, and other border states may do the same, with force if necessary. Use whatever means necessary to deter people from entering this country. And there's nothing Biden can do about that except for to send in force. The baseline of all politics is force. If you have the monopoly on force, you can do whatever you want. Politics is the way we avoid violence. It's what we try to use first, civil discourse. And when that breaks down, it breaks down to violence. That's what every war is. That's what every war has been throughout human history. It's been a situation where politics was unable to remedy the current state of affairs. And so violence was the last resort. And we may see that in the U.S. We may see some of these states start to actually fight, have border skirmishes. Who knows? But it's certainly not good. In a country already so fractured, it won't take much for things to break down. So what we really need to stop things from escalating is we need to end all immigration at the border. We need someone like Trump, who's vowed to finish the wall, someone like Vivek, who has vowed to put the military at the border, and we need someone who's going to deport all of the illegals in this country. They have not entered lawfully. They're not adding anything to our society. So we have to end it all. And now that you've heard what I think, please let me know what you think down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.